why should people get married moving forward?
Well, like you said, 2 is better than 1. And, I mean, I guess someone could come back and have a counter argument and be like, well, that doesn't mean you have to get married. That just means you could just be with the person. But I think being married and, like, actually going the distance and going through with a marriage is just a completely different level, in my opinion. Especially, like, as a Christian, like that just doesn't compare to just being boyfriend and girlfriend or being in a long-term relationship. Like, marriage is like holy. Marriage is just so much more intense than just being boyfriend and girlfriend.
Here we go.
And I remember I was having a conversation with one of my good friends, and we were on this topic of marriage and why people should get married. And we were like, well, if you're not a Christian, why would someone get married? And so I don't have an answer to that. But I mean, if you're a Christian, like...
Well, it's for the tax benefits. That's why all the military people get married.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
That's true. You're not wrong. I gotta tell you a story off camera, but yeah. And, but yeah, if you are a Christian, like, you should definitely get married. It's a beautiful thing. In my opinion.
I mean, if you want to seek out a relationship, absolutely.
If you desire that relationship, you desire to be married, then do it the Lord's way. And
yeah. Well, I have a few things. So the first is the shared human connection. And so that is what we crave 24/7, is like the shared human connection. Even when people put on, these VR headsets, they go in, like we watched a whole documentary about this at the Coronado Film Festival that we attended. And there was basically this documentary where this guy went into AI and he was interviewing people in AI who they were playing some type of simulation game where basically you have an avatar and you're able to basically live life. It's almost like Sims, but in virtual reality. And you can pretty much do anything and be anything just like you are in the real world. And people were in there being dancers, being virtual reality rappers, like videographers, because you can buy like video equipment, like VR video equipment, and make like VR videos within the software. It was really cool. And he actually did a little bit of that in the documentary, as well as, just interviewing people outside of it, like in a real world setting. And so it was really cool and really well made. But it goes to show you that even in these virtual spaces, everything's moving towards this digital age. Everybody's online on their phones. But really, it's all because we're craving, this human connection or validation from other humans, wanting to rack up followers, rack up subscribers, and seek all this attention. But when you are in a marriage and you have that person that you can, lean on all the time, and someone, again, these things keep coming up, someone that brings you peace, right? Well, then you're going to be content with however many subscribers you have, however many followers you have. You may want more, right? But you're also going to recognize at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. Like, I have my person here and we're vibing out, like everything's cool. Everything's good. God's got us as well, right? Another thing is for encouragement, right? When you're doing things alone, it's like you and only you, and it's really easy, especially when things aren't going well, to just go into a sunken place, essentially. But when you have somebody, here all the time, they're really able to give you encouragement to where sometimes you won't even fall into, those dark places, because somebody's always there constantly encouraging you. Go ahead.
Yeah, and to add to that, like having that person there also gives you a level of responsibility to be self-accountable to whatever you have to do for the team as a whole. So I think that's a good point as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And next thing is family. Like, a lot of people want to have children and, kids, and if you're going to have kids, I think marriage is obviously the most optimal way. That's been studied in, multiple different studies, that parents or children from a two-parent household do substantially better in life. Plus, most successful men, almost all of them, are married or have been married, and that's because, again, they have somebody there to encourage them. They have somebody there who's like their peace, who's also, comforting, right? Because when you're kind of living the bachelor lifestyle, it's like, yeah, it's cool, right? It might be fun. It might be the cool thing to do, but it's like, it's probably pretty taxing when you're trying to like rotate in all these people. And Kenya watches like all these housewives shows. Mm-hmm. A lot of them or specifically on Potomac, a lot of them have gotten divorced, and now they're like in the hoe phase. We have rotations, but then they're like just.
But they still are craving a person.
Yeah, but it sounds so taxing when they're talking about like how they're doing it, but they're so proud that they have a rotation now and they're doing their thing, and it's like.
Yeah, and encouraging other newly divorced people to
do
the same thing.
Yeah, it just sounds like unnecessary stress.
Yeah.
When the reward's not that great, right? When you have like that one person to come to, that's your peace, that's your comforter, it's like, oh, maybe this isn't the coolest thing to do. Like, you don't collect your trophies, because that's basically all it is. You're basically showing off that, people, that you're desired, right? But it's not fulfilling, right? And it's also not godly as well. And it's not optimal, especially if you want a family and if you're trying to be a parent, because you're not showing your children a good example of probably your desire for your child, because your desire for your child is more than likely, I want you to be happily ever after, just like any of the movies that we watch when we're rooting for, this couple to make it or this couple to make it, right? That's why we like those movies, because that's something that we crave. That goes back to that shared human connection.
Yeah, that also goes back to the Potomac show, because one of the girls, she was married 3 times, and her current husband that she's about to divorce is like, I don't want that for our kids. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, super interesting. Before we get out of here, we do have one last quality sip. It says, healthy marriages that lead to strong families will help repair the rampant degeneracy in our cultures. Kenya, what do you have to say about that?
Healthy marriages that lead to strong families will help repair. Yeah, it will, because it goes back to everything that we talked about today. And like when you have a person, it helps you be accountable to each other, to the tasks, to the goals that you have together. And of course, like when children are added into it, and that helps you be more responsible. And it's just like a big ball of a big ball of accountability that helps prevent degeneracy.
No, yeah, I think it goes back to what we said at first, where that Bible verse is saying like, man leaves father and mother and is joined to his wife. And the structure is that you have a strong family unit to start, and you are, leading your child and handing him over so that he can start his or her own strong family unit. And that is supposed to be the pattern. But even if you weren't blessed enough to come from the ideal strong family unit, which I wasn't, you can recognize that, hey, this isn't the most ideal thing. Do the work necessary and the self-improvement, the Christ improvement necessary to get yourself in the position and the spiritual and emotional space so that you are able to foster a healthy relationship so that you can start that pattern that we do see in the scriptures. So yeah, why should people get married? Because marriage will not die in 2025. Thus says the Lord. We want to thank you for rocking out with us this evening. I know it was a late one. I know we probably only had, May Day with us because the notifications probably don't even go out anymore because we haven't streamed in so long.
I got the notification.
Yeah, I got the notification too, but just like people checking and all that for us to come out. But if you were tuned in, we do appreciate it. Or if you're watching the replay, we do greatly appreciate your support. It means the world to us, and we have tons of different, things coming at you in the future. Working on a docu-series, so the shows will continue to be fire as always. Conscious Outlet will be back very soon. Hopefully we can get the weekly tea started back up. Kenya and I will be doing Quality Bay on a consistent basis. That is our goal. And then we have a quality dating show that may or may not be in the works as well. Isn't that right, Kenya?
Mm-hmm. Stay tuned.
So yeah, we have a lot of different things that are popping off right now. And so real quickly, we're going to let Kenya tell you about our store here on Quality.
Yeah, and while he gives me that, also if you haven't seen any of the last few episodes of Honesty Hour, make sure you guys go watch that. And that's like a little extra part of Faith and Beyond, where I'm just kind of going over like things going on in the media, specifically for women, about women, in order to encourage us women to become better through Christ. So, but with our new Quality store, there we go. Okay. So we do have like a new Quality store. It's just like our merch, and it's just another way to show support. If you guys enjoy the content, if you guys want to rock some of this stuff, right now we have like the classic collection going on. So it's just like a real classic font, and then we have different sweatshirts, t-shirts, beanies, cups, candles, and we also have stickers, hats, all those things. And yeah, so if you just like want to support, you want to rock what we have going on, that's where we go.
Awesome.